Hi there, and welcome to another Getting Started with series. This time we're off to Germany. It's Bayer Leverkusen. It's a fantastic team that is it's a very interesting save because this is going to be one of those Getting Started with series that starts off in a different direction. I'm not going to analyze the team. I'm not going to analyze anything else. But I'm immediately going to the staff. The staff is a category which is going to be something that you need to address out of the gate. The very first thing you do with Bayer Leverkusen is don't even bother with your players. Don't bother with training. Don't bother with any of their shit. Go hire a new sports scientist because you don't have one. You can't do an aggressive preseason if you don't have sports scientists to help your players combat fatigue in the long run. So you need a head of sports science, this sports science, and you need at least one sports scientist, and you need a couple of physios because this team is weak in that department. The second thing you want to do is fire the ass man. The ass man is useless in this. This is one of those useless ass men. Nico Schneck, I like your name, but hell, man, you're out of here. So what you gotta do is you gotta go out there, get an ass man who's got at least decent judging playability, some tactical knowledge, because this guy is absolutely zero. He will not help you in any way whatsoever. Even if you were to ask for a manager to, sometimes you want to auto select your formation best players for the role. He's not any. He's a zero. So go out there, get somebody else, because you got a problem in the training department. In the training department, when it comes to coaches, you're short of defending coaches. If I remove myself from the equation, you have a problem because your defending area is very, very light. Second thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you, in preseason, you make sure that the workload is very light for your fitness coaches. Now, if you're looking at the coaches themselves, then you'll notice that we have a major problem here. Nico Schneck can only help you across the board. He can't help you in anything else. So that leaves you with a goalkeeping coach that is semi decent, and you've got two fitness coaches that are good. That's it. What else have you got? This team is basically got Xavier Zamrod, who doesn't add anything. So Xavier Zamrod can be fired. Nico Schneck can be fired. There's two coaches out of the window because the only ones you want to keep are yourself because you're the manager, of course, and your two fitness coaches. So you need to go out there and get yourself defending coaches, two, attacking coaches, two. You need mental and tactical coaches, at least two of them. So you got six coaches that you got to identify. You can't get six because your allotment is only five. Um, you got to fire one that gives you some room, and you got to fire the ass man that gives you some room. So if you fire the ass man and Xavier Zamrod, you can definitely set up a very nice coaching group. But at the moment, this coaching group doesn't cut it. So in the meantime, if you ask the assistant to assign, this is what you're gonna get. So it's a very weak it's a very, very weak combination. So you gotta go out there. So you fire one, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you got ass man and you get six. So you can solve that problem immediately. So this is something that's gonna be very high on the priority for anybody managing Bayer Leverkusen, because you don't need to bother about the tactics of the side. The second thing you want to do is you have under 19s. I've already promoted two of the under 19s into the senior team squad, so they're already here. Let's take a look at the players that are here. We got general info, all positions, age. Yes, we have promoted Christopher Scott and Eamon Azhil into the to the main squad because you want to mentor them. So the second thing is you're gonna look at your mentoring. Now mentoring, you got several. One of the ways to do mentoring is to understand hierarchy. Hierarchy is very important. Hierarchy is the one thing in this game that's going to help you with mentoring. Higher a player is in the hierarchy of the club, and the more games he has played, the bigger the influence he's going to exert on all the duties under him. So we've got Lars Bender and Baumgartlinger. These are the two team leaders, and they definitely have the right personality. They're both professionals, so they're gonna make for very good tutors. Both of them play in a defensive midfielder slot, so they're gonna be fantastic additions, fantastic mentors for anybody who's a defensive midfielder. However, Kevin Volland, who's resolute, is gonna make a very influential coach, along with Julian Brandt, who's an attacking midfielder. So you got two of them here. In the long run, you want them to become team leaders. There's, at least one of them to move up in the long run. They will if they are given enough time. So what we're going to do is promote the youngsters from within, and then try and sort players out for them. So you got training, go to mentoring. You can of course ask the assistant manager, which is what I did. He came up with this group. The second group I created on my own with Lars Bender in that, Dominic Kor, Michel Weischer, and Christopher Scott. The kid we just moved into the main group. So we got significant average light, which means that Lars Bender, as the team leader, he's going to have some influence over these players, including Dominic Kor. Dominic Kor has got a fairly sporting personality. He's playing as a defensive midfielder. Mitchell Weisner is a defender. Hopefully, it rubs off on him. So over time, this is going to be good for us. So the other thing you want to do is in your tactics, you want to be playing some players over the long run more than others, like Broad and Wallen, which is natural. I mean, which isn't a problem for this team, including Bender. So these three players can definitely, in the long run, become the next team leader. So tactically for this team, I mean, if I'm looking at this team, it's pretty straightforward. I'm looking at they play a 4-2-3-1 in real life, and there's a strong possibility this team is also going to be a 4-2-3-1. If I'm looking at the roles that we have in this team, I'm just looking at the defensive midfielders. You can see 14 for defensive midfielders. We've got Dominic Kor, Sven Bender, Lars Bender. Lars and the Bender brothers can definitely anchor 4-2. You got Baumgart Linger as well, who can play there. You got Charles Arengui, who can play there. So you got enough options to rotate. Then in front of them, we got Kai Havertz, who's going to be playing as the player in the hole. Definitely looking at his passing, his vision, decisions, and his flair. This kid is... I know which club he came from. I remember this boy. This guy is oh yes, I'm sorry, he's a Leverkusen boy all the way. This guy is going to be a fantastic player to watch out for. So Kai Havertz playing right in the hole, and you have Leon Bailey, the young English boy, or is it Jamaican? Sorry, I thought it was English. So it's Jamaican wonder kid playing on the left flank, and then on the right flank is probably gonna be wait, we got Brandt. Yes, Brandt will probably be on the right flank. So we've got another youngster there. Then we've got up top Kevin Wallen. This looks like the actual team that plays, right, for Bayer Leverkusen. So you've got all these players here. You've got so much talent here. Dominic Kor is a youngster. He's also very good. So you got Benders. So this team is walking out with a 4-2-3-1. So this is how it... I mean, I won't set it up like that, but I'll play a couple of matches right now in preseason. But out of the gate, without a shadow of a doubt, this team is a 4-2-3-1 all the way. They'll probably play the middle press really well because they've got a very good group of players that can hit them on the break as well. So you've got Leon Bailey, you got Kai Havertz, you got Julian Brandt, all of whom have got very good acceleration. So if you played with a middle press with Bayer Leverkusen, you can attack teams after you've drawn them in a bit, so you can hit them. And you can hit them hard as well. So you would set a middle press up something like this. So something like a standard or a higher defensive line with the middle press, no tighter marking. Now people have been asking me about why am I suddenly using a slider for pressing intensity. It's because in a lot of my games now, I tend to do this. I tend to change my pressing style. Some matches I'll go with a high press at the start of a game, and then I'll go tighter marking, and then after I scored the goal, I sink into a middle press and remove tight marking and go get stuck in. When I do something like this, I don't want my boys to prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and I also want to remove all the closing down instructions that they have in front so that they don't go and close players down. So they end up... So it's a very different setup. So if you're watching and wondering why my team instructions I'm not using PIs or close down, is because I want to use the pressing, what I would call a defensive line trap. Basically, I want those teams to enter my trap. I want to spring the trap and score goals. The challenge is managing Bayer Leverkusen. We had some matches in preseason and we quickly discovered something. This is one club where we have a problem with central defenders. First, we had a problem with the back room. We have to clear the entire back room. Now we got a problem with the two central defenders. If you look at the central defenders, you'll discover something very, very disturbing. Jonathan Tah loves to play his way out of trouble. Then we got another central defender called Tin Jedvaj, who loves to play his way out of trouble. And then we're left with Drakovic, who doesn't play his way out of trouble, but has got poor jumping reach. In fact, the only player who has got decent jumping reach is Jonathan Tah. So one of the areas where I thought we could circumvent this problem is by playing with DM and then playing defensively standard or wide so that we don't have to deal with too many crosses. This is going to be a bit of a challenge for this team. So what we are going to do is also employ Klozamo Mark Taita on the front group. Klozamo, this is going back to the old school way of playing, which is last season. I used to manage clubs and I used to do specific pressing. Okay, then we got inverted wing back and full backs all not doing anything special, and we got one goalkeeper on defense. The team as a whole, they're never going to move from lower line of engagement and high defensive line. They're going to use the offside trap prevention or goalkeeper distribution with this system. So as one option. The other option, of course, is to use the 4-2-3-1. Here, the 4-2-3-1 will not feature, will also have a closer more in front. Two holding players, one fullback overlapping, one fullback on support, locking down this side of the flank, and then we got inside forward attacking this way. This might be an option for against teams that we expect to win. What I've also done with Bayer Leverkusen is I've signed this player Federico Rica, because Bayer Leverkusen are short of one fullback on the left side, and this guy is kind of cheap. So if I was a manager of Bayer Leverkusen, first up I'd probably look for another central defender in the long run, because they're a bit scary using these two players. And the second thing is, for some matches, I probably will use the 4-2-3-1. Other matches, I probably will stick to the 4-1-4-1. So, and use an inverted wing back who come in and support this hole, whereas these AP attacks through the middle. We also have a winger on support, inside forward and attack, and a complete forward and support. So these four will do the pressing. We won't change, we won't use the team instructions to press here. So I'm going to try this out against Wolfsburg at home. We should definitely be able to beat Wolfsburg. And let's see how this match turns out. So we picked up a 1-0 win over Wolfsburg using the 4-1-4-1 or the 4-1-2-2-1 or whatever you want to call that tactic. We used the inverted wingback. Again, you got to be very careful about these two boys at the back. They almost gave away a goal by dwelling on the ball. Yes, you can be leading by 3 goals, but the combination of Jonathan Tah and any other defender there who wants to dwell on the ball is going to always be a danger for Bayer Leverkusen. So what did we do? We've done it differently. We're going to have an inverted wingback here. This gives us options, because in some games where you are definitely, you don't find it a threat, or you don't find the opposition being very threatening down this flank, you can always bring on Bendel. So this is an option which gives you a style of play that is easier to handle with this team. We got pressing forward and support here. That's the only difference. Now pressing forward, what I've done with Bayer Leverkusen is playing with a pressing forward and support, winger on support with closer, more tackle harder, mark tighter. Inside forward will stay wider, close down more. So I want him to hug the line, and then when he gets the ball, he's going to cut inside. I don't want him to be narrow. And then we got an attacking playmaker who's got close down more. Carrello has got close down more. Halfback who doesn't do anything else. Inverted wingback, CD, fullback on support. Sometimes I change this guy to a wingback on support in case I want him to be high up the pitch, especially against teams that might be sitting back a lot. It's things I do with this tactic if I want to push for a goal, right? I'm gonna be first option is to push this guy further forward as a wing back on support. That way, if Bailey loses the ball, he's not very far away. The other thing that we do is when we're in possession, we might be a bit more expressive. If I want to go even wider, then I'll push the passing directness to standard. I don't have any, we don't do any, our pressing intensity is default. We prevent short goalkeeper distribution. We leave the line of engagement and defensive line untouched throughout the whole game. We don't do anything. Our defensive width is not narrow. We normally have played narrow, but this time it's wide because we don't want to deal with crosses. Okay, we do not want to deal with crosses at the box because we're not very good with headers. So and that's the reason why I have closed down more on these guys as well. So they come back and this entire group helps to defend so that we get more security down the flanks. At least that's what I'm hoping. Whether that works or not, so far it worked like a charm against Wolfsburg, because Wolfsburg couldn't really get a lot of shots on target. They only had 2 shots on target. We had 5. We hit the woodwork twice. We had some very good chances inside the box, and the Carrello went and scored in this game. As you can see, the wing back plays a big part on the right flank, and so do the 3 players up top: Leon Bailey, Paulinho, and Vollen. Leon Bailey is going to be a threat on this flank because he will cut inside from the right flank as an inside forward, and he's going to drive straight for the box, which is crazy. I mean, this guy's speed is unbelievable. It's 18. He's like a choo-choo train on steroids. So we got Paulinho here on the left flank. It's not too bad. Sometimes you can definitely play Bailey on the left flank as well if you want as a winger. Then Vollen can come here and another striker can go here. Or you can, the front 3 permutations are fantastic for this club. It's the back line that's the problem. So typically, this is how I would start. In wing back, central defender, inverted wing back here, so that I can get Havertz to be a lot more dangerous. You can also tell Havertz to get further forward if you want to. If there might be some matches where this might even be a good idea. However, I would start when I'm not sure. I'll just start in this position. If he starts further forward, then you got more pressure on the inverted wing back. The inverted wing back is very important because it helps you recycle possession across this area. So with Bayer Leverkusen, this is how I would go. Positive, balance, attacking. Any one of those mentalities can work. Be more expressive only when it's like I played 30 minutes and nothing interesting is happening. I might go be more aggressive. So I ask my players to play with a bit more creative freedom. Shorter passing is default unless I go wider than fairly wide, then I go standard passing. Goalkeeper does short kicks to the fullbacks, never to the centre backs because they're hopelessly useless. Then when possession has been won, we'll counter. We're not counter pressing, we're not regrouping. We're just playing on default. You can do that as well in the game. We have an offside trap. It's a very big part about how you're going to be playing because you're playing with a higher defensive line. It's your, let's call it your 5th defender, your offside trap. And defensively prevent short goalkeeper distribution. So this is how I set up Bayer Leverkusen. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Getting Started With. Several things you need to do with Bayer Leverkusen when you begin. The first thing is fire the ass man. You have never heard me say those words, but fire the ass man. Okay, the second thing you want to do is get yourself some coaches. So you're going to have to rejig your coaching staff. What we did was we went to our coaches here. Edit coach assignments. Bang! Look at it. Looks so bloody beautiful with me everywhere. Yeah, except I couldn't get myself a very good attacking technical coach. But I think that if you put in enough results, you probably are going. The manager is probably going to come around and say, "Okay, fine. You know, why don't you go get yourself another coach?" So we managed to get some coaches in. Plenty of 4 stars now. Okay, we've got 4 stars for fitness. I'm very happy here. So this in preseason, this is going to be very, very important. Then we want to improve this area of the game, so this is good. So you can do that as well. So coaches, fire the coaches. Get yourself another fullback. Federico Rica is not a bad option. That's who we signed for the left flank. You don't have enough security on the left flank, which is the reason why I suggest going out to sign one. So we managed to get this player. He's pretty good, and I really signed him without seeing all his attributes because all I saw were 3 attributes, and I went, he's in. He had positioning, he had tackling, he had acceleration. So he had 4 attributes. I didn't even look at the others. The ranges were okay, but he fits. He's good enough. He's good enough for Bayer Leverkusen. In fact, he's good enough for a lot of sides in the world. Then tactically, you have options. You can play the traditional 4-2-1 that Bayer Leverkusen play, which would be something like this. Again, this has the close down more that I had set up. I don't even know what to call this kind of settings. This pressing intensity, which is which is specific to this team, again in this particular setup, I don't change the LOE and the defensive line. Standard width, the width has got to be either standard or wide. You cannot afford to be narrow. This is like crazy with this team. This team's central defenders are a major liability. So whenever you play this game, pray that they do not give the ball away, because I've seen it too many times. Okay, so you guys take care. Have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.